wife and I are inside the College Station's Museum of the American GI set up here. It's fairly new based on the building. I'm just going to give you a quick tour of what you're looking at. This is a French Char World War I tank. It is ridiculously small. It is the only tank of its type in North America, which I thought was kind of cool. With this little tiny turret and these little bitty shells they shoot, and I don't know who fits in there, but this broke, according to the thing we read, this broke down in front of a farmer's house in 1920 and they left it, and it turned into a tractor for their operation. This is the first true four-wheel drive vehicle ever made. The Jeep is based on this. We looked at it, don't touch. Here I go, touching. And there is the hand crank for this hot rod. This old crank start, not key start. And these are some of the vehicles they have, and according to the guys out front, they're fully functional. That's what's called a Hellcat. It's a tank destroyer. Has thin armor. Can't tell, but it doesn't have a top on it, and is strictly designed to destroy tanks. That's why it has speed, not armor. And this is a 75mm French gun. You tow the gun, and you tow the ammunition holder, which is kind of cool looking. And of course the classic Sherman tank from World War II, the M4. And if you look, it's not made expensively. This is a cast metal, very cheap design, which is good for what they're using it for. In North Africa, they use these mainly. This is called a half track, and it was mobile artillery, for lack of a better reason. So it's truck and tracks. The back end is open. They put a gun on top, a high velocity 76mm gun, because the low velocity 75 on there couldn't really penetrate heavy armor or go shoot very far. And in the desert, that's two things you need really bad. And this little hot rod is called the Chaffee tank, right here. Tiny tank, relatively small gun. They use them in Korea also. Got a very stoic look on his face. And this, I don't know how this got in here. This is a 16-inch shell. I mean, you can't tell the size, but it should give you an idea. Battleships, they would put that in and then shove in all the powder packs behind it and then light it up. Not sure how many they used, but apparently a few. This little hot dog over here is called a Stuart tank, an M5. This is early war. They used them through the entire war, but look at the little bitty bullet, little bitty tank round. The British loved these because they were really, really fast. They didn't have heavy armor, they didn't have a heavy gun, but they were really quick, and that was an advantage. And whatever they call these things, it floats. You drive it across the river, not unlike a Jeep, which is right there, and that is, a real Jeep is freakishly small, by the way, like freakishly small. Air-droppable scooter with towing capabilities. Gotta have one. This is a variation of the little Stuart tank, except it was a short-range gun for sometimes mortar artillery or bunker busting, not armor attacks. Real quick, armored car reconnaissance vehicle. Same little bitty gun. Wheeled. See a lot of those in the old war movies. Pack howitzer used in the Pacific Theater. It's about waist high to me. They couldn't get heavy artillery in, so they got these little tiny ones and they could manhandle. This aberration was something they tried to use in Vietnam, a 6-barreled recoilless rifle thing. I don't think it was very effective, but I'm going to show you, my last part of this video, I'm going to show you something interesting about that. This little hot rod here is called a mule. They actually had these in service when I was there, and I saw them, but I never got to drive one. I just thought they were cool. It was an off-road toy. Another recoilless rifle. Little tiny artillery. And if anybody's seen Apocalypse Now, that is a PBR, patrol boat, river. And they quit making those years ago, but I guess they got them to mock one up. And that, of course, is the Cobra, which I can show you that from up above. And I wanted to show you something from up here. Again, this is the American Museum of the GI, College Station, Texas. I think it cost us, I think, $12 to get in or something, which is cool. Gotta get an escalator for old fat people like me. Up here, what you're seeing is endless uniforms, which you can go through from World War I to present. But something I remember reading about years ago. This ridiculous thing down here, recoilless rifle, basically means back over here it's vented and the shell blasts the gas out so the gun doesn't kick back like a traditional tank cannon. And how you aim these things is, if you look right there, you see a magazine. I can't get closer to it. That goes in, and that right there is a .50 caliber round, like a rifle. Again, I can't get close enough to it, but right there is the magazine, and it goes to there. And what happens is you line up on your target, and you fire the .50 caliber, and the bullet flies, the trajectory drops, and then you adjust and you fire another round, and when the round hits, it has the same trajectory as the 106 millimeter rocket. And then you pull the trigger and fire the rocket. So that was their aiming system. And of course, right there, the .30 caliber for protection. Kind of a cool idea. But this is the American Museum of the American GI Museum, College Station, Texas. Fun to come here, enjoyable. That would fit a 9-year-old. Seriously. Seersucker. Awesome. But there's a lot here to see. If you get a chance, you're passing through College Station. This is where Texas A&M is located. I recommend this. Apparently in the summer they do live fire, some kind of demonstrations around here, but it's pouring down rain and we are literally the only people here. Alrighty, take care. Bye.